Hi everybody, sorry I can't be with you today, but through the wonders of modern technology, I've managed to deliver to you my part of the 16th century. So, here goes. Liverpool in the 16th century was a real mixed bag. It had some great high points, such as the establishment of a regular trade with Spain. We had Liverpool ships for the first time travelling down to places like Bilbao. And it had some low points, such as the great sicknesses, the great plagues that swept through the town at the period. In fact, in the mid-1550s, the great sickness is said to have wiped out a third of the town's population. That left us with little over 500 people in Liverpool. Contemporary chroniclers actually blame the Great Sickness as coming from Manchester. Some of the highlights in the beginning of the century include 1515 and 1522, Liverpool's first town hall and first grammar school were established by John Cross. He, of course, was of Cross Hall, where we get Cross Hall Street from. There probably weren't many stone buildings in the town. The grammar school and the town hall were probably thatched wooden buildings. In fact, there were probably only about 4 stone buildings in Liverpool. The castle, which was in a state, it was fallen down. The Tower of Lord Derby, Liverpool Tower, which, when he was created Earl of Derby, he never really visited that much. St. Nick's Church, nice stone erection there. And in 1533, a small stone building which belonged to the monarchy, to the crown, and that's recorded in a royal survey. It's labelled just the Stone House. So it probably shows you that most of the town was wood and thatch. In 1540, a traveller called John Leyland actually visited Liverpool. He travelled right the way throughout Britain, and he wrote a little bit about it, and I'll read it to you now. He says, "Liverpool, alias Liverpool, is a paved town and hath but a chapel. Walton, 4 miles not far from the sea, is the parish church. The king has a castlet there, and the Earl of Derby has a stone house. Irish merchants come much thither as a good haven. After that Mersey water coming towards Runcorn in Cheshire lies amongst the commune people, and the name and is Liverpool. At Liverpool is small custom paid that causeth merchants to resort. Good merchandise at Liverpool, and much Irish yarn that Manchester men do buy." So as you can see, not much really. Little port, little castle, little trade. It is interesting to note, though, that by 1553, 60 tons of wine were actually brought into Liverpool on a Spanish vessel. And by 1565, John Hewitt, a Liverpool merchant, was actually living in Bilbao for 8 months. He was a factor down there. So maybe John Hewitt was the beginning of Liverpool's export trade, exporting lager louts and holiday makers to the lovely sunny coast of Spain. Liverpool was at a really low ebb in the mid-1500s. The Great Plagues had wiped out huge swathes of the population, and it really looked like it was on a down. In fact, within the first few years of Queen Elizabeth coming to the throne, they wrote a petition to her, and they called it Her Majesty's Poor Decayed Town of Liverpool. You'll be glad to know, though, that this down wasn't to last for long, because Liverpool very quickly started growing. The population that was only 505 people in 1564 exploded to about 800 people in 1581. Trade with Spain started up again, and it's even reckoned by some scholars that we got a very special visit from a man called William Shakespeare. He was born in 1563, or 64, nobody's quite sure, but one of his great patrons was the Earl of Derby, and they even reckon that the little town of Prescott, not far from Liverpool, may have had England's only Elizabethan theatre to be found outside of London. By the turn of the 17th century, Liverpool had really got its feet together. We were starting to grow, and although we had a very turbulent century, we laid the foundations with international trade, trading to France and Spain, that would really see Liverpool flourish into the great seaport it would later become. Thank you, and a happy Christmas.